morning, Roundtablers. I am Shelly, and joining me this morning at the table is my amazing co-host, Barbie. Hi, Barbie, looking splendiferous this morning. And of course, we have Attorney at Law and Advocacy Officer for Jamaica Coalition of Healthy Society, Philippa Davis. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Yes.
How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you.
So good to have you here.
Thanks so much.
Oh my goodness. Why is the time going so fast, man?
Because it always goes fast, but we'll just take our time anyway, right?
Oh my goodness. It's Thursday already. You know what?
No, it's Thursday and March is almost done. March is marched right out.
Listen, it's March right off the it felt like last week you were saying Happy New Year. Remember that?
Absolutely. It was last week.
It was last
Happy New Year.
And marched out.
And marched right out.
You know what? Let's see what's going on. It's time to check in on what's going on online. It's time for the social buzz.
Middleton was spotted for the first time on video this past weekend at a Windsor farm shop near Windsor Castle, shopping with Prince William, but despite this video footage, so many people are still not convinced it's her. This person made a really good point. If that is indeed Kate Middleton, who just had abdominal surgery and needed months to recover, why is she carrying a bag like this? Other people are pointing out how much younger the Kate in this video looks than the Kate we know, saying this person looks like a girl 10 years younger than Kate, and then this other person said at some angles she looks like a teenager. Another person pointed out that with no security apparently picking out loaves of bread, who do they think they're kidding? Also, the people in the background in the video do not seem to notice or care that it's, you know, the Prince and Princess of Wales, saying, notice how no one seems to notice them, like Sixth Sense, LOL. Are they AI'd into the video? Wouldn't people be looking, smiling, something? There's also one of those AI images doing the rounds on Twitter where, you know, it's kind of been put together with some sort of AI software, but, you know, they're never that accurate anyway. This person pointed out that in the space of pretty much 1 week, we've seen 3 different versions of Kate at least. And it's kind of hard not to notice how different Kate looks in each of these images that are supposedly her. I think the fact that there's just been all this like weird stuff happening with altered and doctored images on more than one occasion and images that are supposedly official photos from the palace, it makes absolute sense as to why people are concerned and why people just don't want to trust the story that's being told.
The internet has won again.
It's the Kate-spiracy.
The Kate. What have you been following it?
You know what? I haven't been following it like all the way through, but I've been hearing about it, and I just think that it's so funny because first of all, where they said that person said, oh, there's like, we've seen like 3 different versions of her in 1 week. You can see it's 7 days in a week. You are very, very possibly able to see at least 7 different versions of me in 1 week.
It's not Barbie
but
Gates,
I think
it's
that's
Kate
funny.
Gates.
But it's literary, but it's hilarious to
So
me.
what do you think, Philippa? I mean, are you paying attention to the royals?
You're not paying attention?
No.
Oh yes. So, but there was one that I saw the other day where they said that the bells were ringing and that the flags were flying at half-mast, which is only done when someone dies in the palace. So now there's this whole thing dead? To say who's dead. Is it Kate or is it Charles? You know, so one of them is dead. So that's it. But it's really pretty funny to see how people are following this, and it's just buzzing all over.
Well, you know what? I guess it's the blessing and the curse of the social media because there's so much information and things can be skewed and misinterpreted and reported all sorts of ways.
But the AI market?
And then AI doesn't make it any better because people just get to add even more things to it. But you know what? I'm sure all the FBI agents on the internet will figure it out and let us know. So I'll tune in and see what really is going on.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering why I have a bag in my lap. It's because it's time for a bag of things. So most women have handbags. Sometimes we look like we're having wally things. This you have to actually muscle up, fill it up. So I'm going to show you what is in my handbag. Well, some of the things then.
I like your bags with things.
You like my bag of things? All right. Well, the first thing is I'm a businesswoman, so I have to walk with my device. So I have my laptop, yes. And then, you know, I also have my tablet.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes, I'm a businesswoman. And if you know, I will not be the period lady if I didn't walk with my period kit.
Yes.
Every woman has one of these in her bag, by the way, yeah? Sometimes she get a piece of tissue, out that's where she take it from. Now you know, right? And of course, I have my purse, yes. And you know, we have to have nice, good, clean skin and stuff. So we have a little lotion.
This big old lotion, Shelly?
And what do you mean, big old lotion?
They come in the little small sizes that you can just drop in your bag. Like this one's for home. Just saying.
Anyway, so you know, COVID made me have a little bottle of alcohol in my bag, so I keep it. You still have a little bottle of alcohol in your bag?
Yeah.
And wipes? Yes, man, you're in the know.
But
and
she
of
has
course,
a
the
small
devices,
lotion. She has a-
more devices, and card. And oh, I have this little thing to put my phone on when I put it down somewhere.
Where's
I just
the
touch my
phone?
phone on it like this
Oh,
and
there
say,
it is.
voila! It's a nice little thing to keep and hold up my phone. And what else I have in here? I have
A
other
charger?
things in here now. No, my charger left in the car.
Yeah, is the
Ooh,
kitchen
we
sink?
have to have some sort of makeup thing. You know, we have to freshen up and ting. Yes, so I have
Any
that.
clothes? Any clothes?
No.
Toothbrush, toothpaste,
Well,
deodorant.
do I have any toothbrush in this?
Shelly, you have a laptop, a tablet, and a phone?
Two phone.
sure.
I need to be connected.
Two phones?
Yes, I need to be connected. I have one for business and one for fun. Right.
I'm losing something out of that bag. Like something is not gonna make it home at some point.
No, I know. That's why I'm packing it up, because you are very sticky fingered.
No,
so
well-
while something hot come from over there, so I'll ask them to take my bag of things and the bag over there, please. Thank you
Please
very
take
much, my
Shelly-
darling.
Shelly
Oh,
bag of
Lord.
things.
And you see, I know you're a crook. You're already into my alcohol.
You're so,
oh,
your
Lord.
lotion smell nice though.
Something hot from the section over there. Let's see. Ooh, my body, my choice. The laws that governs. Oh, so right away we're talking about abortions, clearly. Because usually when they're talking about bodies and choice, the men don't have to participate in this, because thankfully they have no laws that tells them what to do with their bodies. Look at that, must be nice. So since we have a lawyer amongst us, let's start with you. What are the laws as it relates to abortion in Jamaica?
And is that topic specific only to abortions when it comes on to my body, my choice?
Well, I think you could ask choice of what and choice to do what.
Okay.
But I think perhaps the debate has narrowed it down to speaking about abortion, but you could really ask, it's a choice to do what? And I would want to start at the highest law before we speak specifically about what the Offenses Against the Persons Act speaks about abortion. Our highest law is our Constitution.
Okay.
And particularly our Charter of Rights. And as the highest law of the land, it provides a framework within which we interpret other laws. It guides the interpretation of the laws. And our Charter of Rights says that all of us, by virtue of our inherent dignity as human beings, we're born with value. And one of the rights that we have is the right to life, liberty and security of the person, and you should not be deprived of your right except in execution of a sentence of a court if you've been found guilty of a particular crime. And it also says that every child has the right to certain measures of protection because they are a minor and a member of society. So that's the broad framework.
Right.
Okay.
Then specifically now, the law
For the
which
offences
speaks to
against the-
abortion is the Offenses Against the Person Act. And it says in section 72 and 73 that every woman being with child who with intent or procures her own miscarriage by using either toxic poison or some other instrument, it is unlawful. And if she's found guilty, then she would be liable to be imprisoned for life. And whoever supplies that toxic poison or the instrument would also, if found guilty, be liable to imprisonment as well.
All right, so in layman's term, it says that if you, as the individual with the child, consents to have the child removed from your body in the medical procedure called abortion, then you are liable to be imprisoned for life. And the medical professional who does it is also liable for the same sentence.
Right, not for the same duration, but also to be
Oh, so
for the
it's
same
liable for
sentence.
prosecution
Right,
as well.
Right.
So, but the sentence may not be for life for the medical professional.
Right. And it's also understood that a judge would have discretion as to what sort of sentencing, if at all, to be put in prison or not. They would consider all the various circumstances
Like
that
rape
would
and
have brought
incest
to
and
that
those
person.
No, that's where I was going to go.
So
What does the law says as it relates to exceptions? Are there any exceptions?
there are no
in the law?
exceptions. There is this idea in society that our law has exceptions, but
Right.
it doesn't, not under Jamaican law.
Okay, all right.
They're
So
not
I wanted to
documented.
understand that.
It's not in law.
It
There are
is
no
not in law.
exceptions.
There are no
So abortion
exceptions.
is prohibited, full stop. Right.
Okay. All right. So, Barbie, let me start with you. What are your thoughts, especially if you look at what's going on internationally now with the conversation around low birth rates? They're saying that, you know, we are not having enough children. There are countries around the world who have very strict laws like us about abortions. There are other countries that abortions are not only decriminalized, and it's different, decriminalized and legalized is different. Some jurisdictions it's legal, some jurisdictions is decriminalized. What are your thoughts on Jamaica's stance on abortion based on the law?
Wow, Jamaica's stance based on the law.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm a little uncomfortable with the fact that there's a law that tells me what I can do with. There's a law that governs my body.
Right.
I'm a little uncomfortable with that. But in looking into it, I know there are 67 countries across the world who actually have where abortions are legal.
Right.
But the World Health Organization also says that every year they estimate that 39,000 women die from having unhealthy botched abortions. So for me, that makes it major. And when I take it home to Jamaica, a part of my issue that I have with Jamaica is that we are anti-abortion, but we are also anti-adoption. So we're telling these women and these girls to have these children, right? Don't have an abortion because you kill a picnic, you dash away a picnic, you send baby go to a cemetery. But then when they have the children, we're also saying to them, don't give your picnic up for adoption, you give away your picnic, so the child must then suffer or just be raised. So I have major issues with that. But then I also strongly feel that this conversation cannot start here. I think it needs to be broadened, and I think it needs to be about choices prior to even getting pregnant. So choices of abstinence, choices of safe sex.
All right.
There have to be other choices that are brought into the conversation.
All right.
It cannot just be about abortion.
I agree with you, and I get your point. But I think that, you know, the fact that we don't really have a whole heap of time, let us come back to, we'll now get into the broadness of it. But if we're talking about abortion, for me, I think that the law needs to get out of it completely. I think there needs not to be a law on the book as it relates to abortion. Similarly, I believe that the conversation around whether or not you need an abortion or you shouldn't even be considering abortion, what does it mean, what are the risks, all of the information that you would need should happen between the patient and the medical provider. And the medical provider should not be advising you based on the fact that if they give you an option, they might have to worry about being prosecuted later on. Their motivation should be what is required for your best outcome. There are many different reasons for an abortion that has nothing to do with not wanting the pregnancy. Sometimes it's medically needed, and the doctor should be able to make that decision without having to worry about, can this make me land in jail later on? But let's go more into it when we come back from the break. Welcome back to the Roundtable. This morning, our topic is My Body, My Choice, the laws that govern. Before I went to the break, Philippa was writing notes.
Yes.
I would like to know what she wrote on her paper.
Notes.
Yes, Miss Philippa,
Yes.
we said some things.
Yes.
I would love to hear what you have to say.
Just to respond to what you're saying. So
Yes.
any doctor caring for a pregnant woman is actually caring for two patients,
Yes.
the woman and the unborn baby within her. And a doctor is trained to preserve life, to take good care so that there is health. So we're looking for health for both patients, mother and child. We have to understand what abortion is. Abortion is the intentional killing of an unborn child in his mother's womb. It's the intentional ending of a life. That's not health care. That's not preserving life. That's not bringing about a good outcome for both parents, for both patients. So if a mother has been diagnosed with an illness, then the doctor has to treat that illness while preserving hers and the life of the child. We have advanced in medical technology that a doctor would be able to care for the mother, to bring her to the point, and if it is necessary, then you deliver the child early. If that child is not able to survive outside of the womb and he or she dies, then that child has died where you have made your best effort to preserve his life. It is a different thing to go into the womb and intentionally end the life of the child. That is not health care. When we speak about laws governing our body, well, this is what the Offenses Against a Person Act. It is governing and wants to preserve your person. When we speak about the person, we mean the integrity and the value and dignity of your body. So that's why murder is an offense against the person, and that's why manslaughter, that's why rape, that is why sexual abuse, kidnapping is an offense against the person. When we're talking about abortion, though, let's be very clear. There is the body of the baby who's been housed for up to 9 months in the body of the mother. It's two different bodies.
But then
so the law is governing both your right to life as well as the child.
Let me just say that for me, I would rather not have to have the conversation about abortion, because I think that there are other conversations that we're not having, which is why we get to the abortion conversation. So for me, that's what I would do. So with my mentees and my nieces, the conversations I have with them are more so around abstinence and safe sex, because I'd rather not have the conversation about your right to choose an abortion at all. So that's where I stand, where it's concerned. My question to you would be, though, does the law compensate for instances where the pregnancy is actually causing an illness to the mother?
No, but before you answer that, hold on. Before you answer that, I'd like to clarify something. I'm challenging your definition of abortion. The definition of abortion is not going in to kill the child. The definition of abortion is removing a pregnancy, removing a fetus from the body. Now, there are cases where the child simply cannot be preserved. For example, ectopic pregnancy. The child nor the mother will be able to survive that, because what it means is the fetus has been embedded in the walls of the fallopian tube. That is an unviable pregnancy. And so there's no discussion about whether or not they have to preserve the life of the fetus, because the life of the fetus cannot be preserved. There are also situations where the mother already miscarried. The procedure to remove the unviable pregnancy from the body is called an abortion. The abortion is not the killing of the thing.
The procedure to remove it is called an abortion. So it's called a DNC.
The DNC
which is the same
how they do
procedure
the
that
abortion.
you use to do an abortion.
All right, so let us be clear about terms then. Ectopic pregnancy is a completely different situation than an abortion.
No, it's not. The ectopic pregnancy is not the abortion. I'm talking about.
Right. So it's completely two different scenarios.
It's not under the same.
An ectopic pregnancy is likely to be fatal. That embryo that's embodied in the fallopian tube cannot survive.
Correct.
And it could erupt and kill the mother.
Correct.
So any doctor who is going in to remove the embryo is not carrying out an abortion. Abortion now is the intentional, and there are two types. There is a spontaneous abortion, which is also called a miscarriage, where the body has made that decision that this is no longer viable.
Correct.
An elective abortion is now a choice being made to intentionally end the life of a living, growing human being in the womb of his mother. That is the abortion that we're speaking about, and that the Act addresses. An intentional, an elective, a chosen decision to end what is otherwise a healthy, growing, a pregnancy.
All right, so let me be clear.
And there have been instances, sorry, Shelley, where ectopic pregnancies have actually moved outside of the tube and survived. So
we're not talking about those.
That.
So let me get a perfect understanding of what you're saying. Are you saying then, based on the law, that if the pregnant mother has a medical issue that causes her to not be able to successfully carry the pregnancy to term, that the law allows for the doctor to terminate that pregnancy?
But then for a medical perspective, there's no need to end the life of an unborn baby in order to treat the mother for the illness that she has. You treat both patients. And if it is that the baby has to be delivered early, then deliver a live baby early. And you treat the baby in a neonatal care, and you give your premature attention. And if that baby does not survive, then the baby has not survived. But you have not intentionally killed the baby in order to treat the mother's illness. That's two different approaches, and they do not meet.
So you're saying that the mother's illness, the mother is ill, and her illness would be there with or without the child.
It could be.
Possibly, because
yes.
Some illnesses are actually brought on due to pregnancy, right? But you're saying that both, the law says that both have to be treated.
The law is saying that intentionally ending the life of the child is prohibited, but you're not resolving the illness of the mother. You resolve the illness of the mother by treating the illness, but you also have a second patient, the mother and the unborn child.
I am so annoyed. We have to go to a break. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying with us. The time has certainly flown this morning. This conversation needs more, but I thank you so much for staying with us, and we are at final thoughts. Can you believe it? Final, I know, we are at final thoughts, Philippa. I know. You see, you have the face, that's the face all of us have every morning. It's a thing. So I'm going to go ahead with your final thoughts,
I just want to say,
Philippa.
based on statistics, out of the abortions that are done, only 2% are concerned or are related to the issue that you're raising. In fact, 1% of abortions are done for rape or incest, and 1% for the
Those are Jamaica numbers?
Internationally, that is what is understood. 1% for in the situation where the mother's life is at risk. 98% abortions are done out of social reasons or inconvenience or even economic. So the issue is, we have a law that says life is of value, treat both mother and unborn child. What can we do to come alongside mothers who are in a crisis for that 98% so that they don't feel pressured that they have to choose the end in the life of the child in order to resolve a social or economic issue? And regarding the 1% of if the mother's life is in danger, right, then medical care is your response. It's not ending the life of the child. How can I treat her, bring her to the point where we can deliver a live baby? If the baby does not survive, then that is outside of the womb, but not because we intentionally went in to end the life of a child inside the mother's womb.
And my final thought is that 98%, let's start talking to them about choices that they have and making responsible choices so that they don't have to end up where the law makes a choice or a decision for them, or they're faced with having to choose between what they want personally and the life of an unborn child. So let's make responsible choices, choices of abstinence, choices of safe sex if you're not going to abstain. It's my final thought.
Abortion is a medical procedure, and therefore there are a lot of medical reasons why it is necessary. I really do believe that the law needs not to have a voice here. The law needs to get out of the doctor's office and allow the medical professionals to do their jobs. They should not have to face prosecution because they want to know all of their options, especially when it comes to having a child. Believe it or not, it is not a conversations, are more wholesome conversations, so we can make everybody survive this very difficult situation. Thank you so much to our guest this morning, Ms. Philippa. We're going to continue the conversation, you know.
Yes.
You taught me some things this morning. We are going to continue the conversation. Barbie, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. And remember, have a great day. And as you go forth into the world, remember to be good and be on purpose. Walk good. Take care.
And choose life.